Hey guys, Chris here again with Project Nerf, and today we're going to take a close look at the MHP Arms Pigeon and the best ammo to use for it. Let's do this.
I'm just like my country, I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot.
All right, so for those of you that aren't familiar, this is the MHP Arms Dessert Pigeon. And the first thing that you may recognize about it is that it is very similar in profile and shape to the Accuracy International Desert Eagle, hence the comedic name Dessert Pigeon. All right, so there's a few things about the Pigeon that I'd like to discuss really quickly. I mean, first, the ergonomics and cosmetics of this are very Real Steel-esque, so this may not be a blaster that you want to do too many outdoor wars with. Now, I had this one printed up in my colors, black and silver, by Derek's son with Son's Guns. Definitely check Derek out. I bought it as a complete kit from him. Motors, wires, everything that you need to assemble this, and link's going to be in the description box, so shout out to Derek there. The Pigeon has lots of features, again, that are very Real Steel. First, the mag-in handle is very Real Steel. The locking slide, again, very Real Steel. Everything about this thing is really, really well thought out for the most part. Some of the other reviews, I've seen people struggle with the battery. I just want to show you guys that right here. The barrel guide right here has 2 screws in it. We're just going to take those loose. Okay, until the barrel moves freely. You don't even have to take them all the way out. To get this open, all you have to do is run the slide all the way back and then kind of lift up. And there we go. So now you can see the inside of the blaster. The battery compartment is reasonably generous here. I don't have any trouble running 1,000 milliamp Turnigy graphene in this. It comes ready to go if you order the kit. With all of the internals are 3D printed. It comes with the ABS cast FTW. That's Flywheel the World flywheels. And these are rather expensive, guys. This set of flywheels is like 22 bucks. And a set of Honey Badger motors. One of my grievances with the blaster, as it says right on the website there, that it gets up to 100 FPS with Honey Badgers running on a 3S. So overvolting those Honey Badgers that much does not necessarily appeal to me, so we set this one up with Fang revamps, and we're going to try the little better motor for that overvolt, and we're going to get you some chrono numbers. So anyway, let's put a battery in this thing and get it out on the chronograph. Alright guys, so we've got the Pigeon set up with our 2S slight bow. Remember, we got Fang revamp motors in here. And we're going to go ahead and do some chrono testing here. We're going to make our decision if we're going to use a 2S or a 3S battery. So for the control here, we're just going to use Worker Gen 1s. So anyway, let's see if we can get some chrono numbers. Forgive this, guys, my chrono is notoriously bad when it comes to short darts, so we'll just take the reads as we get them. Here we go. Not the... All right. Well, okay. Well, we got a set here. Let's see. We got 15 good reads with a high of 103, a low of 75. And an average of 85 FPS, guys, and that's running this on a 2S. So anyway, let's swap the battery out to a 3S and see if we can get a little bit better numbers. Here we are. Got the 3S battery in it. I didn't even have one for this application. I had to run out today and buy one just to even try this test for you guys, but let's see if we get a little bit better numbers. Here we go. jammed there. It's the follower in my mag. It's not the blaster. And success. Again, we got 15 good reads with a high of 135, a low of 95, and an average of 115 FPS, guys. So it's a about a 30 FPS boost to run this thing on a 3S LiPo instead of a 2. All right, wow, what an impressive set of chrono numbers. However, my fears about running the 2S motors on a 3S battery came to fruition when I went outside to do my range testing with all the different darts that we're going to use here. Here is the set of Fang revamps, and hopefully we can get those to focus on the camera. And they are torched. I was in the middle of doing my range testing. I had a jam, and both motors simultaneously went up in smoke and are dead to the world, so I had to run back inside, put the Honey Badger motors back in it, and run with those. And I haven't had any issues on them yet, though I would assume that, again, overvolting that 2S motor with a 3S battery is going to cause premature failure. But just note, if you're happy with the 85 FPS on a 2S battery, the Fang revamps really worked well. If you're going to run them on a 3S, I cannot recommend the Fang revamps for this blaster at all. So now let's get into some of the different type of ammo that we're planning on using out on the range. In the thumbnail picture, you saw 10 different ammos laid out, which we had the following. We had Worker Gen 1s, and Sweet Oranges, AccuStrike cut downs, Waffle cut downs, Elite cut downs, Men Gun cut downs, Koosh Generation 3s cut down, and Exact Strike cut downs, as well as Vowberries, a lot of people call them FVJs, cut down to Stefan size, and then a hard tip Stefan dart, nipple tip style that I got from nfstrike.com. When we get out on the range, you're only going to see 8, because I can tell you right now, the hard tip darts simply will not go through the flywheel cage. The crush is too high. It just instantly jams and stalls the flywheels out. So if you're planning on using hard tip darts, this is not going to be the blaster for you. So without further ado, let's get out on the range and see what happens.
I am not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot. Hey, yo, I'm just like my country. I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot. I'ma get a scholarship to King's College. I probably shouldn't brag, but dag, I'm amazed and astonished. The problem is I got a lot of brains, but no polish. I gotta holler just to be heard with every word. I drop knowledge. I'm a diamond in the rough, a shining piece of coal, trying to reach my goal. My power of speech, unimpeachable. Only 19, but my mind is older. These New York City streets get colder. I shoulder every burden, every disadvantage I've learned to manage. I don't have a gun to brandish. I walk these streets famished. The plan is to fan this spark into a flame. But damn, it's getting dark, so let me spell out the name. I am the A-L-E-X-A-N-D. We are meant to be a colony that runs independently. Meanwhile, Britain keeps shitting on us endlessly. Essentially, they tax us relentlessly. Then King George turns around, runs a spending spree. He ain't never gonna set his descendants free. So there will be a revolution in this century. Enter me.
He says in parentheses.
Don't be shocked when your history book mentions me. I will lay down my life if it sets us free. Eventually, you'll see my ascendancy. And I am not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot. Hey, yo, I'm just like my country. I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot. Hey, yo, I'm just like my country. I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot. It's time to take a shot.
I dream of of life without a monarchy. The unrest in France will lead to anarchy. Anarchy, how you say? Oh, anarchy. When I fight, I make the other side panicky with my
Yo, I'm a tailor's apprentice, and I got y'all knuckleheads and local parentis. I'm joining a rebellion, cause I know it's my chance to socially advance. Instead of sewing some pants, I'm gon' take a shot.
And but we'll never be truly free until those in bondage have the same rights as you and me. You and I do or die. Wait till I sally in on a stallion with the first black battalion. Have another shot.
Geniuses, lower your voices. You keep out of trouble and you double your choices. I'm with you, but the situation is fraught. You've got to be carefully taught. If you talk, you're gonna get shot.
Bird, check what we got. Mr. Lafayette, hard rock like Lancelot. I think your pants look hot. Lawrence, I like you a lot. Let's hatch a plot blacker than the kettle calling the pot. What are the odds of God you'll put us all in one spot?
All right, hope you enjoyed that. Obviously, I time-lapsed it quite a bit in the interest of keeping the video to a reasonable amount of time. And we got some pretty definitive results there. The Worker Gen 1 darts were far and away our most accurate, with 21 hits out of 27 darts fired. Then our waffle tip cut downs were 19 of 27, and our AccuStrikes were 18 of 27. So our Worker Gen 1s definitely won the accuracy contest. However, I don't know that I would call them the best dart to use in the Pigeon. Of the 27 rounds that were fired downrange, to get that 27, it tore the head off of about 12 of the Worker Gen 1s, which doesn't surprise me. They've had some gluing issues in the past, and this is a very, very high crush cage. So, for me, performance, price, and durability, guys, I've got to give the best ammunition type for this to waffle tip cut downs. They really, really performed well. They were very, very consistent, and they just work. They're not expensive to buy. It's awesome. A couple of questions that I know I will get, so I'll just go ahead and go over them now. Yes, we were running the Honey Badgers on a 3S LiPo to do our range testing. Why did I only do 9 rounds for each downrange run instead of 15? Well, I had a bit of an issue with my katana mags in this blaster. Now, perhaps it's just my blaster. The katanas do fit. However, they tend to sit a little bit crooked inside the blaster like this, and what happens when you pull the trigger, it pushes the dart into the side of the body of the blaster instead of into the flywheel cage, and I either have to hold it in place like this or just do something else. So I chose to use my printed Pecker magazines, which the capacity is 9 for this test, and didn't have any trouble with them. So I really, really like these printed magazines. They fit the blaster great. They look nice. So that's the reason that we only did 9 rounds downrange. And why did the Fang revamps torch? Well, guys, with that kind of overvolt, and then we did have a jam, but when you're running a 2S motor on that much power, they're going to fail prematurely. And in this case, I'm going to assume that the neodymium magnets in Fang revamps just cannot handle that kind of voltage unless it's just ideal conditions. If everything goes through and it fires properly, you don't have a problem. I got about 100 rounds through it before the Fangers went. And I've got about 200 on it now with the Honey Badgers, and it's still running great. So definitely, if you're going to do the 3S battery, you want to run your Honey Badger motors. If you're going to do a 2S, I would definitely go ahead and spend the extra bucks, guys. Grab yourself a set of Fang revamps and throw in this thing. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the review and the range testing. If you have any questions, by all means, definitely put them in the comment thread. I try to get to it and answer all of them. Till next time, this is Chris for Project Nerf saying, have a blast.